Hello, Steve here. So I put this little bad boy number on today, my old Man City top, and as you can see, it's a bit bloody mahoosive, isn't it? I wore this back in 2003, and I think I'll get to the story of why I'm wearing it. Yeah, reminiscing about a game I played in actually in these colours. It was like it's the very last match played at Maine Road. Would you believe it? And it was like a sponsored charity match where groups of people had to, obviously do things for charity, and the Merseyside branch won one of the parts of it. So we got the home dressing room, obviously coming from Merseyside, of the Man City supporters branch, and Poynton and Whitefield, they also won, so they got the away dressing room, so they were in the away kit. And it was the very last game played at Maine Road, and I think why I'm kind of reminiscing about this today is, I've been thinking about my old man a lot. He passed away 30 years ago, and I absolutely miss him to bits, and I was sparking up something on Instagram, as you do now with all this modern technology and stuff, and I took a picture of a pie and a pint, and it just reminded me of days with my old man, Getting a bit upset now, actually. Thinking about him. Get me stuff together, Steve. Come on. You can push through this, mate. There they are. I'll keep this running, so you're going to have to bear with me. It's quite a... Oh, get a wave of emotion, don't you? All the chakras need aligning, maybe. So yeah, 30 years, 30 years. Long time, But, love going to Maine Road when it was around, having a pie and a pint. And I think that's the story I was talking about, wasn't it? Before I was getting a bit melancholy, a bit upset with myself. And I love nothing more than the simple things, going for a pie and a pint. And obviously when I was a kid, I was desperate to get to Maine Road with my old man and my brother. And the reason we didn't go sooner was because my brother was 5 years younger than me. So, my mum and dad sort of said, well, we want to take our Steve with Ian, we want to sort of wait. So I had to wait and wait and wait and wait. I was old enough, probably I could have maybe not necessarily gone on my own at the age of 9 or 10, but I could have gone maybe with my uncles. They still lived in Manchester. We lived on Merseyside at the time. So anyway, eventually we sparked up the first match against Arsenal in 1977. Would you believe it? 1977. Me and my brother's first match at Maine Road. Absolutely brilliant, and you can't beat going to the match with your old man and your family, can you? And even, my mum was at the first few, and she'd make the sandwiches and she'd have a flask, and she was more interested in talking to the police horses, and the coppers outside, giving them sugar cubes and all this stuff and polo mints. And we used to collect badges before we went into the ground, and we had our scarves and our city tops on, obviously. I've still got most of the city tops, actually, from that period, from the 70s and 80s onwards. I've got probably about 50 tops, including quite a lot of away tops, And it's amazing how successful now, this club are, but it's been the most time where I haven't gone to any games when they've been the most successful, because obviously, remembering going to Maine Road with my old man, it's just not the same, is it? Going on your own to these games, My brother lives away now, and my uncles have long gone, and my dad's brother and his cousin unfortunately died, at the age of 39. I used to go to the matches with him, so that was a shocker for us. But none of the Richardsons go now, funnily enough, to the games. It was a massive family tradition, and we all used to hook up in the social club outside Maine Road, because my uncle and my cousin had season tickets, so they got us into the social club, and now and then we'd spark up a big pie dinner and stuff like that, absolutely brilliant. Just the simple things, and having a chip balm at full time on the way back. Sometimes having a chippy, and everything's centered around bloody chips and food, isn't it? But God, the memories absolutely brilliant. So I think that's because it's coming to the 30th year, and I've got me top on actually that I played at Maine Road in 2003. And obviously, my old man wasn't there, my uncle wasn't there, or my cousin. My mum was there though, and my brother. So, I was represented by two Richardsons, and the very, very final game at Maine Road, and it was actually in a book. And we managed to get into the book as well with our pictures, the team. Doing a description on the Lucky Horseshoe story, I think it was, where, players used to, excuse me French, but they used to piss on the horseshoe in each corner of the ground for good luck before the game started. And people don't know stories like that, do they? You can't see the horseshoe in the Kippax stand, as it was. So yeah, it's this year's a massive, massive sort of poignant year for me, because it's 30 years ago that I lost my dad. And also with City doing particularly well again, and getting into the finals, he would have absolutely buzzed off the fact of them doing so well, because me and my dad, we've never seen them win a trophy in our time, but we had a bloody good laugh, And my brother, all the families are together, and my cousin and my uncles, and absolutely brilliant. And we take these days for granted, don't we, about what we're doing when we're younger, and you think it's going to last forever. And obviously when he popped at the age of 55, I'm not far behind him. I'm 54 in April this year, and I think when I lost him when I was 24, where the hell has that time gone? So when I was out the other day and I sparked up that pie and a pint picture on Instagram, that probably might be on there now, I might save this video back till after I put that on. So it did half remind me of the good old days at City, going to Maine Road, going with the family, and, by Christ, you don't half take things for granted, don't you, when you're younger, that it's just going to be like that forever. And you're not thinking of it being a memory that you're creating at the time, because you're just living it, you're just in that moment. And absolutely magical. So, I think because of watching the Blues the other night on the telly when they come back from 2-1 down, it was one of them games where, through adversity, which is always the way City used to play in our days, we used to call it the theatre of comedy. It got the tagline after the United grounds called the Theatre of Dreams, ours was the Theatre of Comedy. And but by Christ, bloody brilliant, weren't they, last night, coming back from 2-1 down with 10 men. And they've done games like that before, where they've come down from 3-0 down and won 4-3 at Tottenham with 10 men in the second half. And I thought, absolutely fantastic to witness that sort of fighting spirit that kind of brought back the old days. Excuse me. Brought back the old days of City and the old memories, and like I say, the pie and the pints and the chippy. So just a little one today to say, still thinking of you, Dad. Wish you were still here, mate, but, wasn't meant to be, was it? It's been a long, long time. And I think if I can round up a message to all of you entrepreneurs out there in the SFM, because I'll probably stick this out there and maybe it'll go on YouTube if I've got the minerals to put it out there for everyone to see. But, the message, goes out there too. It can be a lonely job, this entrepreneurial ship, and thinking you're flying solo. And it's not the case. I know it's not the case now with this group of people, these lovely tribesters, SFM lot. You're never on your own, but sometimes you have to reach out, don't you? You have to spark up a little video now and then of a story maybe, and just get it off your chest, isn't it? Just come out with the odd story now and then. If it's on your mind and you've been thinking about things for a few days and you've had your memories, just come out with it, push it on the camera, and then you've got it for posterity, haven't you, to play back, put it in the tribe, like voila, all this now, and you've got something to look back on and say, oh Christ, you know, all those memories just come flooding back. And as I've been talking, you know, probably a hell of a lot more I could say. I could probably be on it for over 10 minutes. I only intended it to be like 3 or 4 minutes, and you know, once Steve gets going these days, he's just bloody waffle. But I think I'm enjoying telling the tale of my old man, you know. Getting upset again. I know there was another member on here, Siobhan. She came out with a story about her mum, you know. I think that was 23 years ago she lost her mum. So I think there's a lot of us out here at the moment that, you know, it's just nice to reminisce on a story, isn't it? Not necessarily get upset. Although you never forget, do you? You never forget the shock of losing someone. Just, you know, 1 minute they're there and bosh, next minute they're not, you know. Never get over that. But fond memories anyway, Dad, you know. And hopefully they'll win the cup on Sunday. You know, they're playing Chelsea in the League Cup. Hopefully now they'll get to their first European Cup final, which will be momentous. And I'll be raising another pie and another pint to you, mate, if they win the European Cup. Hopefully the Premier League as well. Let's have it all. That's what we say in the DEA, you know, let's have it all. So I'll leave it there with the memories of me dad. Okay? All right. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.